Meanwhile, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has warned 19 new resident electoral commissioners against visiting government houses or holding unofficial meetings with politicians. Professor Yakubu gave this warning on Thursday at the INEC headquarters shortly after the 19 new recs were sworn into office. It comes 113 days to Nigeria's election. The INEC boss equally told the new recs to be transparent and non-partisan while remaining firm and courageous.
You owe nothing to any individual, but owe everything to the Nigerian people. We must continue to ensure that the choices they make on election day prevail. It is their decision. We are only administering the process in trust, supported by technology. On this note, let me once again emphasize that the only means of voter accreditation during the 2023 general election is the bimodal voter accreditation system, the BVAS. While results will be uploaded to the INEC results viewing portal, the IREV, in real time on election day as provided by law. In line with the Commission's practice, resident electoral commissioners are deployed to states within their geopolitical zones. However, no one will serve in his or her state of origin throughout their tenure. Accordingly, the 19 resident electoral commissioners.
18 migrants found to be in possession of national voter cards and other migratory documents have been repatriated back to their countries of origin. Controller of the Oyo State Command of the Nigerian Immigration Service, Issa Dan Suleiman, made this known to newsmen in Ibadan, where he also warned that no migrant would be allowed to participate in the forthcoming general election. Also speaking further, the migration boss hinted that any individual caught facilitating the process of obtaining any of these vital documents shall face the full wrath of the law.
18 migrants were found with our national voters' cards. The state migrants, having violated the laws of the land as enshrined in our constitution, in our extant law as amended in 2015, were instantly in out, that is repatriated back to their countries of origin. And when we do this, we don't just dump them and probably go back, no. They are always handed over to their identified families. In most cases, they will also be accompanied by personnel from their embassies or outcomes in Nigeria. For the sake of embassies, I therefore state that no migrants, regardless of their status, should participate in the upcoming general elections at any stage, and any migrant caught shall face the wrath of the law.
In the meantime, a suspected terrorist in an internally displaced persons camp in Shwari town, Bauchi, was arrested with 67 permanent voter cards in his possession. This was disclosed by the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Musa Danmadami, at the biweekly media briefing of the operations of the armed forces in the theater of operations. Aondona India reports.
The heat is on and the armed forces have no intention of taking their feet off the pedal in the offensive against terrorists. What is interesting this time around, though, is the fact that permanent voter cards were found in the possession of a suspect.
2 suspected Boko Haram terrorists and were arrested at Damaturu, Yobe State. Also, on the 24th October 2022, troops in conjunction with civilian joint task force as custom internal displaced persons camp, Shwari town in Maiduguri local government area of Borno State, arrested 1 suspect in possession of 67 permanent voters card. Suspect is currently in troops custody for further interrogation.
A terrorist convoy was not spared as well from the air power of the Nigerian Armed Forces.
Also, the air component of Operation RNK on 21st October 2022 conducted air interdiction mission on a terrorist convoy moving along Tumbu Aliu near Lake Chad area, a terrorist location southeast of Maiduguri town. The strike eliminated several terrorists as well as 7 gun trucks and other materials.
More questions were asked about the state of security in the Federal Capital Territory. Major General Akpo offers some insight into what the intelligence community has been up to.
So even before the alert, most of what has been happening was intelligence driven. And you don't have to see what the intelligence people are doing. Really do a lot, but you won't see, because most of the activities are clandestine. And you don't have to depend on any foreign power for your space to be kept safe. Your institutions are capable, they are solid, and they will continue to do their best, day and night, to keep the environment safe.
The armed forces are also carrying out several other operations in other parts of the country. And according to the military high command, tremendous success has been achieved. From Abuja, Aondina Inga Silverbird, News 24.
The governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, has said that politicians cannot be blamed if things are not working the way they should. While receiving Okon Effiong, the new commissioner of police posted to Rivers State, Governor Wike says the Independent National Electoral Commission, the police and the judiciary have a considerable role to play in redefining Nigeria. Our correspondent Ofonime Okon has the report.
The visit afforded Governor Wike the opportunity to make fresh allegations against his predecessor, Chubike Amechi. He alleges that the former Minister of Transportation influenced the posting of the immediate past Commissioner of Police to Rivers State for political purposes.
I was shocked when I know that you have taken over the electoral ballot paper by yourself to grant concrete. You saw what happened in 2019. So embarrassing, so shameful. So shameful. And to the glory of God, I was shouting. What the then Minister was in the General Protect or Chief Officer. They told the military not to be military, political group.
Regardless of who controls the posting of police chiefs, Governor Wike says he will continue to place a premium on security for the betterment of all residents.
Nobody can talk about good governance when there's insecurity everywhere. If you cannot protect your citizens, they have no need to talk about governance. Because if you are doing road, people must be alive to use the road. If you are building good schools, people must be alive to go to school. So it is key that you owe your citizens to protect their lives and property. And so for us as a government, that is the sole aim of being government.
CP Okon Effiong, who is the 43rd Commissioner of Police in Rivers State, assures Governor Wike that the police under his watch should be proactive in the fight against criminality.
Drawing from our appreciation of what His Excellency has done to the police, I and members of the management team here present, we want to commit to ensuring that the peace that have been enjoyed in this state is sustained.
As part of efforts to curb the rising insecurity in Imo State and its environs, the 34 Artillery Brigade Nigeria Army has successfully launched the Operation Golden Dawn 2 in the state. Speaking at the Force Operation Base, Olu, where the exercise was flagged off, the Commander 34 Artillery Brigade, Brigadier General Sani Suleiman, said the state in the recent time has been faced with activities of criminal elements who engage in kidnapping, assassin, armed robbery, bunkering, among others. He also maintained that the exercise will in no small measure checkmate these activities with a view to nip them in the bud.
in recent past, the Southeast and Imo State in particular has experienced a rise of security challenges ranging from kidnapping, armed robbery, assassination, banditry, and insurgency, among others. The 82 Division of Nigerian Army with headquarters at Enugu, in its bid to curtail this criminal act and ensure relative peace in the entire Southeast region, particularly during the festive period, likewise the exercise in line with Army headquarters direct.
Ambushes are being led by own troops around these general areas, as well as presently, even before the deployment in Izombi, we have been consistent with patrols around that general area. Also, sir, in Okigwe, there has been skirmishes of attacks too from these dissidents, and both movements, the opening of camps in Izombi and Okigwe is as a result of the gallantry of the combined troops of all services that have been able to push them out of Osumogu, the valley in Osumogu. And that is why most of them are looking for safe haven and looking for other places to establish.
On behalf of me, the government and people of Imo State, I congratulate Nigerian Army and through Nigerian Army, other sister agencies in Imo State for wonderful work they are doing, and also assure them that we will continue to be with them at all times.
The Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, has expressed concern over the alarming rate at which Nigerians flee abroad, describing it as a failure. General Irabo, who stated this at the 2022 Emerging Leaders Conference in Abuja, said Nigerians must understand the issues facing the country and work with the government in tackling these challenges. Correspondent Margaret Ogbo has more.
The new trend of migration out of the country, popularly called Japa, is no longer news to citizens in the country, with many attributing the cause to high rate of poverty, unemployment and increasing insecurity in the nation. This has forced many Nigerians to abandon the country in search of greener pastures in Europe, America, among others. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, believes fleeing Nigeria is not the way forward.
If the reason for your moving, it is not to know what happens in another class and for you to come to inject it, you just want to abandon, then you're a failure. And I do not believe that there's anyone here who would desire to be a failure. Why? Nigeria as a nation is being given to us as leaders in our rights to defend.
Well, for Nigerian youths, I would want to say create value. Create value. Once you create value, then money starts looking for you.
According to experts here, young Nigerians' achievement of good leadership qualities will aid in improving the country.
We need leaders with a high level of industry. We need leaders with high level of vision, innovation, people who can go the extra mile to create value. We need value creators. And for the past 21 years, we have been in the business of ensuring that we host 1,000 young people every year, and I'm glad that young people will leave here transformed and better.
Participants believe mentorship of younger generation will go a long way in solving problems bedeviling the country.
I need to look at the problems in this country and where can I come in to solve these problems. It can be just one problem at a time, and then prefer solution, have a deep rethink. And for me, one thing I'll do is in regards to mentorship, which is something I really feel we're lacking. So I'm going to focus on that and see how I can mentor, even if it's just one person.
In recent times, Nigeria has recorded a brain drain, especially in health sector due to migration, and this is causing the nation a lot of damages. If this incessant fleeing abroad must be curtailed, government must, among other things, make efforts in providing job opportunities for the youths and create an enabling environment for entrepreneurs to thrive. From Abuja, Margaret Ogbo, Silverbird News 24.
You're watching Newsblitz, coming to you live from our Abuja studio. We will be back with more news after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Appearing before the Senate committee on Thursday, Major General Yusuf of the Nigerian Defense Academy says various constructions that are yet to be completed have been neglected as a result of lack of funds. Major General Yusuf also said the Academy would be needing an additional sum of 200 million naira to be included for overhead budget allocation to cover expenses of PMS and maintenance of generators, with a conservative sum of 450 million naira monthly as funds for undergraduate academic activities, which includes the newly established research center. Chairman Senate Committee on Defense, Senator Aliyu Wamako, however, advised that the NDA sought alternative means to raise revenue as there is cash crunch at the moment.
What we are proposing, provision of vehicles, renovation of cadet hostel and furnishing of the hostel, including the furnishing of the offices of the professors. We also have some abandoned buildings for the principal staff officers. They've been built for over more than 8 years now, but not completed. We've done the structural tests and we got good result that we can complete them, so we included this slide. So overall, sir, that is in summary the details of our capital proposal. And
from the chief minister to CDS to Mr. Devar, yes, you do some diplomatic. Put up the military services and do some diplomatic move. That you can get something to complement what you are getting in the terms of budgetary provisions. Because nobody here has enough in the budget to address all their plans and the programs.
We have been challenged. Some years back, people like us who are politicians today, when they talk about big money coming to the military, they thought it's a waste. But we are seeing the realities on ground today. The whole thing is happening. We are seeing it. Right here in Abuja today, people don't sleep with their two eyes closed because they are not sure of what happens tomorrow.
234 undergraduates living in military barracks in Abuja have participated in 6 weeks of intensive infotech intervention skills acquisition training organized by the Nigerian Army Officers' Wife Association. According to the president of the association, Mrs. Salamatu Yahaya, this is in the bid to counter extreme poverty through human capital development. Andona Inge reports.
The training, which was initiated by the president of the Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association, Salamatu Yahaya, under a youth development project, is aimed at engaging the youths in entrepreneurship and design. The youths are trained in web design, cybersecurity, Python programming, and IT essentials.
The first stream of trainees that are graduating today are the undergraduate trainees affected by ASU strike. The training commenced with 226 trainees, out of which 224 successfully completed the training and will be graduating today. It is heartwarming that the my youth development project is yielding positive results, as these trainees will be going back to their respective schools with added knowledge that will have significant impact in their educational pursuits and career development.
The Chief of Army Staff, who congratulated the beneficiaries, says the program will be extended to children without formal education.
The world today is rigged with cybercrime and terrorism. Hence, it is important for you to be mindful of not utilizing your knowledge to contribute to negative fora of any kind in search of quick wins, money, and quick pleasure.
Some of the beneficiaries speak about their plans.
To explore me to do more things online, I've been trying to improve myself in cybersecurity, and this system will serve as an opportunity for me to improve myself because I can install more operating systems like the Linux. which can help me in cybersecurity.
The skills, I won't just stop here by getting a certificate. It was just a 6-week program. I want to go ahead and learn more of it.
Thank you. The Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association plan to continue with this initiative to build the capacity of more young people living in the barracks. Aondina Inga, Silverbird News 24.
You're still watching Newsblitz. We'll bring you news from the foreign scene after this break. Stay with us. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has accused the Kremlin of resorting to energy terrorism as Russian troops make few gains on the battlefield. Mr. Zelensky said 4.5 million people were without power following Russian attack on its energy network. In recent weeks, Russia has carried out large-scale missiles and drones attack on Ukraine power facilities. The strikes come as officials say Russian troops are likely to withdraw from the key southern city of Kherson. An attack on Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan, which supporters say was an attempted assassination, has drawn international condemnation. Mr. Khan, 70, is recovering in hospital after being shot in the leg on Thursday at a protest march in Wazirabad in the northeast of the country. One person was killed and at least 10 injured in the attack on his convoy. But Mr. Khan is in a stable condition, his team say, and could potentially be discharged in the coming days. Donald Trump has dropped one of his strongest hints yet that he may run for the White House again. The former U.S. president told the crowd in Iowa that he will very probably do it again in 2024. Mr. Trump was speaking at the first of 4 rallies in 5 days as he campaigns for Republican candidates in the next week's midterm elections. U.S. President Joe Biden is also traveling across the country to get out the vote. And in entertainment news, the Ghanaian Afro-pop artist and R&B singer, songwriter and record producer Raphael Kofi has been speaking about his new song during his visit to Abuja.
First time in Abuja, I'm just trying to connect with people, fans, connect with the media especially, because they've really supported me out here, like, to be honest. New project is called Slow, features Magics, from Nigeria, from Mavens. You already know him, Abi? Yeah, confirm that. I linked up with Magics when I first came into Lagos, and shout out to Patron King again. He gave me a studio, and then we worked in the studio all night. Because I had to travel the next morning, so yeah, that was the only time we had, so we were just there vibing until like he got this particular song that I made and he was like feeling it. He dropped his verse, and yeah, that's just how we made Slow. But this song is beautiful. Like, I definitely want people to go check it out. The video's on the way, and I know you guys are gonna, like, you know, keep it on rotation and all that, but yeah.
My name is Dokoyari Jennifer, Little Miss Culture International 2022/2023. The desire growing up is to be a beacon of hope, specifically for the girl child in our society. I have a project titled Speaking for the Rights of the Girl Child in Our Society. The rights of the girl child. Who's girl child in our society? They are naturally, like some now, if I can give examples, some can be raped, some child trafficking, some different kind of things, like the way, like, let me say in traditions, some will say, if I don't have a male child, the girl child in my house cannot inherit whatever I have.
In sports, Barcelona defender Gerald says he is to retire from football after his final game at the NOU camp on Saturday. The 35-year-old, who came through the ranks at Barcelona and had a 4-year spell with Manchester United, made the announcement in a video posted on social media. Barca will play Almeria in the La Liga for Piqué's last match. During his time at Barcelona, he has played more than 600 games and won 30 trophies, including 8 La Liga titles, 3 Champions League trophies, and 7 Copa del Rey titles. And that's Newsblitz for today. Remember that your permanent voter card, also known as PVC, should be guarded jealously. Do not sell your vote. Do not sell your conscience. Do not be intimidated. Vote wisely. Thanks for watching. I am Atinuke Nuke.